to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Yoko, I'm an empath, and I just like to do these little daily talks on how I see things. I got an inquisitive mind. I always like puzzles. I'm a little artistic, autistic. I got a broad spectrum. So I've been getting all these these freaking inspirations for all these topics, and the energy feels so good. I thought Benny was gonna take a good 2 minutes before he started barking at the door. I told him, dude, co-host, about to do a video, come on in. He likes to make an entrance, so let him bark a couple more times. I think he's still on his bench. We'll let him at least get to the door. So, welcome to my tube. If you tune in to me, we're close in frequency. We got some kind of similarity. I identify as a lot of things. So many there's lots of words. Today I'm happy. That's a good word. So starting, I made some notes last night. I got to talk to some friends yesterday. One I hadn't talked to in a couple years. It was real good to connect. Get it? Connect, plug in to source. Your friends are your same frequency, I knew when she was going through hard times. I always know when, I'm going through it, because we're the same frequency. We are the same wavelength. We float on the same wave, Like, for example, I like to give examples, analogies and stuff. You ever call somebody and they're like, I was just thinking about you? Well, yeah, we're the same wavelength, so probably why I tapped into it and I called, there's a handful of people I do that with. I've been fortunate to know a lot of really good people. So, some of the notes, I was going to call this video Misappropriation of Funds. And I actually looked up the definition this morning. I wonder if I got a screenshot of that or not. It's been a long day. I've been up since 5. Just all kinds of fiery energy and stuff. Oh, look at that, I did. Misappropriations of funds. And this is according to some legal page. Definitions.uslegal.com. Misappropriation of funds means the intentional illegal use of the funds of another person for one's own use other than an authorized purpose. It can be a public official, a trustee of a trust, an executor or administrator of a dead person's estate, or by any person with a responsibility to care for and protect another asset. It's a punishable offense. And all I can think, because I don't know if you see any of my other videos, but I talk about this project that they still water the weeds several hours a week in the middle of the night, of the stuff that I've talked about how the city of Salem is gross. They had parts of this concrete project, these huge blocks, and I post pictures of it on my Instagram page, of these huge concrete blocks that they had made in Washington State and shipped down. Yeah, they had them shipped down. So, with Amazon shipping prices, you can imagine how much it would do. There were 5 huge concrete. I mean, like they're ginormous. I have the video of them, like, when they raised it up in the ground. Because, I'm a reporter, so I'm documenting the whole project, which leads me to, because, you get these contractors and stuff, and their, like, egos are so out of control. They're like, well, yeah, this is going to cost $50,000 bazillion. And the state goes, okay, that's cool. I got a cousin up in Washington. He does concrete, so I'll just go ahead and take away some jobs of some local community people and all that stuff, And and if you look up all of it, because it's free. It's all. Today I went to the website you can submit a request for public record, and I was going to submit the plans for that to see how much it costs to have that made. But of course they charge you, this city's weird. My bill is like $50 a month, and I don't even have running water. I haven't had it, so it's been accumulating since last June. So now it's up at $850. I'm slowly paying it down, but it's going to take a little while, But misappropriation of funds, huh? They just spent like $58 million on some somebody's idea of water cleaning filtration for green-blue algae. Dude, you can't prevent that, you freaking idiot. Go clean the surface and... These people are freaking ridiculous. Anyway, enough about that. I'm excited about this. I'm just going to try and read this whole thing and then I'll talk about it. It was inspired by a conversation that I have. You know, that's the thing is these people are wasting hard, you know. I mean, there's so many people struggling on minimum wage and stuff like that and just trying to get by 3-4 jobs, you know. Never get to spend time with your family because you're always at work just trying to freaking provide a roof over your head. There's a lot of people that have jobs that are freaking don't even have a place to live and all this stuff, you know, and it's just all that imbalance. So, you know, I think a lot of frustration is people thinking that, you know, the government is supposed to back them, but the government is backing the wrong horse. It's backing the wrong horse, you know. These egos, they're running stuff, and I'm an empath. I can see through that. I know who's for the best interest, and there's a lot of people that budget way better than you people, you know. And it's all ego, and I know a guy and all that stuff, and now it's all coming out, you know. Even the Navy's reporting UFOs. So, I wrote this morning. Emotion and frequency. How many people... Emotion and frequency. How many people actually go through trauma? I mean, I've known people that have never been in a car accident. I've known people that are in their 40s, 50s, and never lost somebody. You know, so there's, if you think in terms of how many people exist, I wonder how many people have gone through a traumatic event. And then I wonder how many people have gone through a lot of traumatic events over and over and over, besides a lot of the ones that we've created from bombing third impoverished countries. I gotta get Benzo. Come on, Benzo. Come on, Benzy. Come on, Benny. Come on, Benny. Benny, I want to see the people that ask. Come on. And here we are, you're whining me. Come on, Benny. Okay? Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on, good boy. Benny. Artie, don't be stodgy. Artie, go lay down. Sidecar. Hustle. Move it over to it. So I wonder how many. I cleaned out his ear today. I wonder how many. I got my shark pants on. These are my favorite shorts. Well, one of them. They got little blue sharks, swordfish on them. Anyway, all right. So when I think about that, because I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, traumatic events, scary events, you know, separation anxiety. An aunt that picked me up from a doctor's office one time when my mom was in the backseat and the doctor, we were like playing around the curtain, you know, they were doing her exam, we were like right there. My aunt walks in and says, Mom called, you know, I'm gonna take you home and just, you know, come with me. And then I didn't see Mom for 8-9 months. So it's separation anxiety. Yeah, I learned how to soothe myself at a very young age, you know, because when you know, you're taken away. So, and that's happening in society today. It happens generation after generation. Parents are separated from kids, and, you know, the only thing you can do is draw experience from it. I mean, it's not going to stop, because the people that can make it stop are too greedy to ever make it stop. So when I think about that, what I kind of see happening in the climate today in the world is the older we get, you know, and we come more able to soothe ourselves, so we put ourselves in good standing and good position, you know, to keep us from traumatic events. Maybe every now and again we get a glimpse of something gross on a freeway, a car accident or something, you know, and it sticks with you, you know. But when you go through trauma, it puts a stamp on your energy field, on your endocrine system. It puts you in a vibrational frequency that, unfortunately, it's like a special club, you know. You know, not a lot of people experience it. And I've been electrocuted, and to me, it's like the same frequency. I've been freaking big time electrocuted, so when I was little, so I've always carried that. So when traumatic events, it's shock. It literally, I mean, that's what they call when people are in shock. It's too much overload. Your spirit can leave the body, and people tell stories about how it happens, especially during sexual abuse and things like that. It's a spiritual checks and balance, one that actually works, not a made-up one. Anyway, so what happened, you know, and as you get older, you keep the thumbs at bay. Well, but sometimes life happens, you know, and then sometimes traumatic things happen that remind you of things that you forgot and that you stuffed away when you were a kid because you just don't want to deal with, because people do that all the time. I know people that just have no recollection, that, like, I knew when I was a kid, and I'm like, always telling, do you remember it? No, and I remember it like videos, like movies. And so as you get older and painful things happen, then they start, because of the vibrational match of the severity of pain level that they felt when they were a kid, that they denied, you know, and they stuffed. But now they're starting to recall. Now, you know, divorce, loss of a parent, you know, and when this stuff happens, like, boom, 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 consecutive one after another, you get to a point and it's just like, your emotions completely get stripped away. So I mean, it is bizarre it's like, going, you know, when you go out of yourself and you kind of settle back into your new norm. And when you get bombarded, it makes people disgruntled. So, the older we get, it becomes more prevalent. It reminds me of ways I once felt, you know, when scary things happen. Like if I almost get in a car accident, I think about other car accident I've been in, like, all at the same time, you know? Or, you know, you get betrayed, it's like all the betrayal at once, just, you know, kind of thing. So, it reminds me of the way it once felt. But the good thing is when you have the recall, and this part is important, is when you have the recall, you can process it as an adult, as you are now. See, we aren't even the same physical beings. Our cells rejuvenate every 7 years, so we physically aren't even attached to that. It's our soul that is attached to it, our spirit. And seeing people are having recall with not just stuff that happened when they were a kid, but past lives too. And they're like, what the frick? You know, and they tell their parents about, or their friend, you're crazy. But more and more people are open and receptive, because hopefully I don't see a lot of videos like mine, but that's why I'm doing it. Anyway, so you get to process that as an adult, go in with your inner child and do it together, and then free that up. And then the beautiful part is once you go, if you got a lot of ugly stuff and you look at that, you free that stuff up, it frees up recall of beautiful childhood memories too. It like releases a dam. So once you heal all that gross shit, it releases that, and then you remember all the fun times too. So it frees you up. Yeah, it frees you up. So my heart's heavy, but there's a lot of denseness in the field right now. You know, it's I always say, mind the dip. It's the longest video I've ever done, I think. You know, because I feel good. Someplace else there's a balance, right? And today it's in it's in 11 people killed, and I see that as a storyline playing out. That see, every class has a class clown. Every class has a job. You know, there are all these paradigms, and then throughout society, every town has all of these personality types, right? So every big city, every state, you know, like what happened out there with the city, because it's like the water. Like when I finally pay down my $850 water bill, so stupid. Like they have you go down to the office. That's where this guy like shot his fellow employees. To my understanding, it's just all coming out. It was people that he worked with for years and years and years, you know. And one of the guys I talked to last year, when I was like telling him about this project and stuff, and all the stuff, he's like, "Well, that's weird because we're not even getting our 1% raise." But the people who are saying that they can't get the 1% raise, they are making 6 figures. So yeah, that's unbalanced, and that's it's happening everywhere. So unless you take everybody's guns away, and police too, and that ain't ever gonna happen. So you just got to be real cautious and careful of where you go and when you go, and learn to frickin' run the other way if need be, because, you know, potential for danger is inclement weather, and so I'm talking like, I mean, hail too. You know, Shasta. I saw videos of Shasta Lake. It was like, dum, 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 a whole lake getting pelted by golf size. It's fine, you know. So, I feel good about this, and I hope somebody else gets about that. And you know, people know when people are disgruntled, they gotta listen to themselves. And hey, you know, if there's a coworker or something, you better freaking go talk to HR. And see, I check out my other video, impasse in human resources. That's a good one too. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.